Howdy, y'all. I'm here today to tell y'all not to do something. Traffic getting on my nerves. Just stop and go, stop and go. These red lights today are like picking on me. So today, I'm telling you, you may have heard something that sounded good to you if you're young, you know, and penniless. But I'm here to tell you, if you're young, don't do it. If you are middle-aged like me, don't do it at all. If you're old, definitely don't do it. And that is a 50-year mortgage. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Maybe not ever. And this came out like a week ago, or maybe a little bit more. I don't know. And my first reaction was, anybody that does that is a fucking moron. Don't prove me right, people. Don't. You don't have to prove me right. I just laugh at it because it's so ridiculous. Like, already a 30-year mortgage is insane. And that's what most people do, so that they're able to afford a home. I get it. You know, a 15-year mortgage is hard, especially now. I'm not a finance bro. I'm not telling you life hacks to use your money, but I am telling you that a 50-year mortgage will make you a debt slave for the rest of your life. The inversion is so much better today. Oh my God. I'm going to get a haircut. Finally. This bumpy ass I-215. Or no, this is 15. Anyway, so could y'all go faster instead of pussyfooting? Y'all heard that word before? Probably if you're older you have. So, why is, 50-year mortgage a bad idea? Well, it's 50 years for one. Why would you do that to yourself? You're signing up for a 50-year loan, okay? And when this came out, the news got released that they might be doing this, the Republicans. So they said there's no affordability crisis. That is a myth. They actually said that. And then they had to acknowledge it by saying, okay, you can get a 50-year mortgage. To get, you know, if you do a 50-year mortgage, your payments will be lower. I'm sorry, but maybe they're taking advantage of the fact that every fucking young person uses AI too much and they don't know how to use their own brain to figure out that that's a bad idea. Why is it a bad idea? Oh, I can save a few $100s a month on my mortgage. Why would that be a bad idea? Well, if you tack on 20 more years to a 30-year mortgage, do you not understand what interest is? And what is it, like 6 or 7% now for a mortgage? Do y'all not understand that, okay, you might say you get a $400,000 home and it's like $2,000 a month for 6% if you do a 30-year mortgage. So you'll be paying $2,000 for 30 years if they don't change your interest rate. If they don't, which is always, you never know, because banks like to jerk you around. 30 years. $2,000. Now that's good if rent gets to the point where it's like $5,000 a month. You're still paying less, right? Okay, I understand that. But you're tacking on for a 50-year mortgage 20 more years at maybe $1,700 or $1,800 a month. 20 more years of paying that much money. You're doubling your interest rate at that point. There's a channel that I watch called How Money Works. Go to that channel and watch his explanation on why this is a dumb idea. And I'm not just saying it's a dumb idea because I saw the video. I said it's a dumb idea, and now everybody's starting to realize, what the fuck? I immediately was like, you're making yourself a debt slave. Okay, if you buy a home, you know, what do you think the average age of a home buyer now is? It's mid-30s. Mid-30s. So, I'm not mid-30s anymore. I'm about to turn 40. But if I was to buy a home today I'm almost 40 years old and I sign up for that 50-year mortgage, I will most likely be dead before I can pay it off. Average age expectancy in the United States now isn't even 80 years old. You're most likely not going to live to 80 years old. You're signing yourself up for a 50-year mortgage. If you don't buy that bitch before you're 18 or 15 years old, you will most likely, statistically, be dead before you pay your home off. And everybody's like, I can build equity. Well, no. Now it takes you twice as long to build equity. Because if you're adding 20 years of interest payments, think about it. It's not a good idea. And normally, I wouldn't give a shit if you were going to do whatever you want to do with your money. You can make a dumb decision all you want. But here's the problem. It affects everybody if a lot of people do this. Because what happens if you do a 30-year or a 50-year mortgage and enough people do it? What do you think your market's going to do? It's not going to go down. Homes aren't going to get cheaper. They're going to charge more money because, oh, they're saving money. Oh, you're saving a few $100s a month on your 50-year mortgage. Now that $400,000 home costs $600,000 because you're fucking dumb enough to get a 50-year mortgage. And the banks know goddamn well they can take advantage of you on that. And you're going to sign up for it because you don't have 10% down payment for a home that costs $600,000. They're gonna make you pay that 10% anyway. Do you have 60 grand? Most of you fucking don't. You can lie and say you do, but most of you do not have that. You don't. So you do that. And now the market, since the market says, okay, everybody's getting 50-year mortgages. What are we gonna do to everybody? We're gonna keep homes at $700,000 and just keep rising because people are gonna buy a 50-year mortgage. Japan tried this shit back in like the 50s or something like that. The 50s. It was a long time ago. And they did it because they were trying to deal with an affordable housing crisis. This was in the 50s. Now, it did not turn out well for Japan. It basically made them slaves for 50 years. For a generation, an entire generation of people, debt slaves to poverty, or not, well, put themselves in poverty, I guess. I don't know. But they were paying the banks money for 50 years. And the only way that this actually worked out for Japan is they got lucky because they are a huge export economy. Where's half of your fucking electronics come from? Japan. Video games? Japan. Even guitars, the good guitars, Japan. Everything's Japan. They have a huge export economy. The United States does not have that. We don't have that. Nothing will save you. Nothing will save your children. But you know what? If you sign up for a 50-year mortgage, you're just like the boomers back in the fucking 50s and 60s, or whenever they started buying homes. You said, fuck the next generation. Fuck them. They don't need homes. We do. So you sign up for a 50-year mortgage and then now, okay, maybe you got some affordable home now. And everybody's saying, oh, you just pay it off faster. Just pay it off faster. Get the 50-year where you have a lower down payment when you need it. You can just pay it off faster. Nobody fucking does that. 9 out of 10 people, probably more than that, 99% out of 100 are not going to pay off the home faster. You're not going to do that because the United States is in a debt crisis because people don't know how to pay things off faster. We are not a financially literate generation, and it fucking proves it. That you would even be considering a 50-year mortgage. Any finance bro, unless he's going to profit from this, any finance bro will tell you you are a fucking moron if you do this. I don't have a lot of money, okay? I have come to terms with the fact I probably will not own a home, and I'm fine with that. If I ever do, cool. I might. There's a chance, but I'm not worried about it because I rent. I'm fine with renting. And then people will disagree with me on it all day, but I love my apartment. My rent's cheaper than the average around here, and I have a fucking awesome view. I love renting, okay? But I'm not advocating renting over home owning. If you want to own a home, you go ahead. But half the reason our homes cost so goddamn much is One, yeah, greed. And two, yeah, there's corporations buying a bunch of homes. But the main reason that our homes cost so fucking much in this country right now is because dumbasses keep buying them at exorbitant rates. And they're doing it on a 30-year mortgage. And then a few years down the line, they realize, fuck, we couldn't afford this. What do you think you're gonna do with a 50-year mortgage? And then 5 years down the line, well, you haven't started making more money. Actually, the economy's tanking. We're in a fucking depression. Now you can't afford your 50-year mortgage, you fucking idiot. Same thing. That's why our shit's so expensive now. I'm tired of dumb, financially illiterate people. Okay? I'm tired of them. And then we have an entire generation that's going to try to justify this. And they're going to fuck the market up even more. People, don't do it. Do not do this. It's not in your best interest. It's not to benefit you. That they don't give a fuck about you and you affording homes. They are doing this because it's going to make them more money. And who's they? Well, the government, because they do have federal mortgage loans, right? I don't know. Maybe that's a thing. I have no fucking clue. They started floating this. But yeah, the government will benefit from it. Why do you think the government will benefit from it? Because banks pay them off. Why do you think they keep fucking giving banks bailout loans? Banks that should fail because they're being predatory as fuck and shady as fuck and keep screwing people over. Come on. Like, I'm not the greatest. I don't know money and statistics and numbers as much as somebody at a bank or a finance bro or some Wall Street fucking asshole does. Okay, I don't. I will never say I do. But I do know a really bad idea when I see one. I've never made a really stupid decision like that. Made some minor dumb decisions, but never will I make myself a 50-year debt slave to own a home I couldn't afford in the first place. Please, for the love of God, don't do this. Do not fuck that up for yourself. Do not fuck it up for the rest of us. Now, all that spewing I did about not spending money, and it's Black Friday, and I bought a brand new phone. And that's why I'm right now sitting in front of Verizon to go trade my old phone back in. But you know what? It was a good decision because I like Verizon. I will be with Verizon for the foreseeable future. And I took really good care of my old phone. It's no scratches, no nothing. It's perfect condition. And they offered me enough of a trade-in value on my old-ass iPhone 13 to get a brand new iPhone 17 Pro Max for $2 a month. That's a good deal. So I took that. You got to think about making sense. And look at it. I know there's a little bit of a jump in quality. It looks better. But the camera on the other side is fucking awesome. It's fucking awesome. That's not why I got the phone. Really, what I like about the iPhone 17 is it actually has an emergency SOS satellite calling feature. Me hiking all the time, I'm out where I don't have signal. If something happens, I have a way to communicate and get some help there if I need it. That's important to me. And then there's the cool ass camera. But yeah, I didn't need a new phone. I was gonna keep this thing till it freaking didn't work anymore. It works perfectly. Verizon was like, hey, it's Black Friday. You want a new phone for $2 a month? Yes. Yes. But if it was going to be like $40 a month for an $1,100 phone, hell no. I'm not doing that. Kiss my butt unless I actually need it. Anyway, y'all have a good one.